on health and lifestyle.
There are no victims. We only have clients or clientele. As soon as she lands here safely, she'll be the next client.
Sasa, what does Trish have to do with this?
So you still have feelings for this girl, don't you?
Aye. Trust me, not at all.
Knowing is one thing. Would you tell us?
Aliniambia ataniletea mapasta, the following day akakuja na mganga.
Wewe msichana wewe. Unisikize na unisikize kwa makini.
This sounds like one of your feuds with her.
You wish.
She has moved on. Prepare to move on, 20.
Happy Mashujaa Day from wherever you're watching this live broadcast from, and thank you so much for making time for us this Sunday afternoon. A lot of stories shaping the news today, including the stories in relation to just the recently concluded Mashujaa Day that have been happening in Kwale County. This is Lunchtime News. I'm Doreen Arange. Susan Thuku is our sign language interpreter. And now, the government has been called upon to honor its long overdue promises to former freedom fighters who possesses invaluable wisdom necessary for molding the young generation and shaping the nation. Speaking during the Mashujaa Day Thanksgiving service for Mau Mau legend General Kiambati Njora at Chamuka village in Nyandarua County, friends of the freedom fighters called on the government to keep its promises. General Kiambati is one of those who led the war against the colonial government during the state of the national emergency period from 1952 to independence in 1963.
Kwa nini viongozi wasitoke nje? Wakuja wajiulize ni nini naendelea. Tunasikianga pesa zao zimefika hapa Kenya. Mara tunasikia kuna shamba wanafaa kupatiwa. Na mjue kama hamutapata baraka kwa hao watu wamepigania uhuru, tutakuwa tunapata mashida nyingi sana hii Kenya. Kwa sababu kuna mahali tulikosea. Kwa sababu kuna watu tulisahau tukiwa viongozi.
They are actually the foundation of the independence that we have. Please, please. 4 systems have passed. Nothing has ever come to them. At least accord them a medal. At least recognize them. At least appreciate what they did for us to enjoy what we're enjoying today.
And moving on, Kakamega Senator Boni Halwale has called on impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua to respect the recent Senate decision to remove him from office, emphasizing that the country needs to move on peacefully. Speaking in Kakamega, Halwale noted Central Kenya region has immensely benefited from the national government through the appointment of cabinet secretaries and other top government officials and the expansion of the road network.
want to tell people kwamba sisi tulikuwa na nafasi ya kumsamehe Rigathi kama angekuja kwa seneti, lakini mwenyewe aliogopa, na sasa badala ya kuacha inji isonge amekimbia mahakama kuzuia kuapishwa kwa deputy president mpya Profesa Kithure Kindiki. Kashagwa, sikia, kule kwa mahakama kwenye umeenda hakuna kitu utapata huko. Mtu mwenye angekuachilia ni seneti. Watu wa mahakama watakuwa wanakuuliza unataka nini, utawaambia sikupewa nafasi ya kujitetea, na walikuwa wakiona peupe wakati tulisema Gachagua, chukua witness stand ujibu mashtaka.
Elsewhere, Tana River County Senator Danson Mungatana has called on the Ministry of Education to take urgent action to ensure that displaced learners do not miss the upcoming national examination and assessments. Social conflicts in Tana River County have displaced hundreds of families, forcing them to temporary camps for the past 3 weeks. The conflict, which has resulted in the destruction of homes, has left these families facing dire living conditions. Learning has also been disrupted, with many school children unable to attend classes.
Watoto masomo mpaka saa hii hawajaenda mashule kwa sababu wanaofia usalama wao bado ni kidogo, hauko full. Kwa sababu jana kulikuwa na watoto walienda Mororo High, walisema kuna pita za hapa na pale, kwa sababu unajua usalama uko lakini bado haijamarishwa vizuri.
Tunaomba sana Wizara ya Elimu wapange mipangilio ambayo itawasaidia hawa watoto. Hawa watoto kukaa namna hii tunawapoteza. Na hawa watafanya mtihani sawasawa na yule wa Nairobi, yule wa Mombasa, yule wa Kisumu. Ule mtihani hautakuwa tofauti kwa huyu ambaye ameathiriwa.
The government has now launched drought response interventions in Kilifi County aimed at mitigating the impacts of prolonged dry spell in the region. East African Community and Regional Development Cabinet Secretary Beatrice Moe is recommending expansion of the National Social Safety Net program to include more households in Ganze, Sokoke, Kayafungo, Mwanamwiga and Jilore wards, as well as increasing water tracking services to drought hotspots. The Cabinet Secretary spoke during a relief food distribution exercise that saw vulnerable households receive bags of rice and beans valued at 7.98 million shillings as an immediate intervention.
Hii sehemu ya Ganze ni katika zile sehemu ambazo zimeathirika sana, especially na hili janga la ukame. Lakini misaada ya kiserikali, especially katika hizo siku za nyuma, imekuwa vigumu sana kupatikana.
Na vile umesema hiyo chakula bado haitoshi, tutaangalia pale ndani tuone ni nini tutakuongezea, kwa sababu sehemu yako kweli vile tumeona unahitaji usaidizi.
Some education matters now. The Kenya National Union of Teachers is urging political leaders to tone down political temperatures in the country to give the 2024 Kenya Primary School Education Assessment and KCSE candidates ample time as they sit for their examination. Speaking during KNUT's annual general meeting in Busia, the KNUT officials, led by the second Vice National Chair Agrina Misi, have called on teachers not to engage in ongoing politics.
This is my personal initiative. The political scenario is that our people are emphasizing getting a lot of time, including going up to midnight, to solve a political problem. When we have serious problems that Kenyans are going through, we call upon that we have peace. What they have done, the parliament has the right to do what they have done. Because we are not members of parliament, we have nothing to say. But I advise that we have peace in this country. We require peace in this country. Our children require peace as they sit for the examination.
And still on that education beat, the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers is urging their members to forward their proposals for the new collective bargaining agreement. Addressing KUPPET members during the union's Siaya branch annual general meeting in Ramba, Assistant National Treasurer Ronald Tunui said that the union will demand a 100% salary increment during the next collective bargaining agreement to compensate for the dwindled purchasing power of the teachers.
Next year, we must sign with Teacher Service Commission a new CPA. And that's why we are calling upon you to give us proposals which should be included in that CPA. One of those one, I believe, must be a salary increase, which should be a minimum of 100% salary increase, because the salary has stagnated for so long. We are not able to buy anything with the current salaries. And we are saying the salary needs to be increased substantially to take care of the inflation and to ensure that teachers do not continue to be abused because of the purchasing power problems. So many teachers have committed suicide because of financial problems.
Migori County Governor Ochilo Ayako is calling for the strengthening of farmers' savings and credit cooperative society as a vital strategy for enhancing agriculture productivity and boosting rural livelihoods, while issuing checks worth 20 million Kenyan shillings to various SACCOs for value addition projects within the county. Ayako emphasized that well-organized and adequately funded cooperative societies are key, as they will enable farmers to access credit facilities with ease.
County, nawaomba, the little funds that we are putting here, do not mismanage them. Tafadhali, tunawaomba. Do not mismanage them, they are yours, and we'll continue supporting you in all these activities.
Time for us to take a very quick breather. We circle back with plenty more, including the latest in the sporting scene.
Starting 17th September, the traditional 32 group phase stage will be replaced by a 36 league phase format. In the new format, teams ranking from number 1 to 8 will automatically qualify to the round of 16. Teams ranking from number 9 to 24 will go to a 2-leg knockout phase to qualify for the round of 16. But teams ranking from number 25 to 36 will automatically be eliminated from all UEFA competitions. Upgrade to DSTV Compact Plus and catch all UEFA competitions live on DSTV.
There's never been so much construction of housing in the history of this country. 124,000 units at various stages. And that has only been made possible because we have the sacrifice Kenyans have made on the levy that is able to provide that ability for us to be able to contract all those number of units. It ensures that affordability, which was previously not there in home ownership, because the access to home financing has been simply unobtainable to most Kenyans. So because we have got this pot of funding, we are able to provide single-digit financing. Now, if we talk to the social housing category, which is available to Kenyans earning less than 20,000 shillings, will be able to access home ownership at 3% for 30 years at a fixed interest rate. That results in a repayment of about 3,000 shillings per month. What has happened since this levy came in? A number of development partners who had been watching the program have now shown great interest to come in and support with long-term financing and affordable financing. So there is the levy that we have, and the development partners have now seen, because we are addressing a bigger issue of affordable housing.
On this Mashujaa Day, we choose to celebrate the unsung heroes in our society.
My teaching philosophy is just one thing, that every student who comes before me is a gift from God and is a leader. I have to harness that talent that is in you. But then what I've realized is this: when we get close and we start talking at this level, the student behaves well for you.
Yeah.
It's human.
The honest teaching has to be one of the most selfless professions on earth. You know,
Right,
it's
yeah.
very close to the doctors and the nurses, because I don't think I'm a very patient person.
I want to speak to children. Really, nobody will give you equal opportunity. You fight for
You fight for it.
opportunities. Yes. So gather your muscles from the inside and tell yourself, I didn't choose my parents, they did not choose you either. We children never chose our parents. But now that I have been born, as much as possible, find your place in this world.
There are no victims. We only have clients or clientele. As soon as she lands here safely, she'll be the next client.
Sasa, what does Trish have to do with this?
You still have feelings for this girl, don't you?
Aye. Trust me, not at all.
Wangekuwa nafanya kazi pamoja, we'll know. Knowing is one thing. Would you tell us?
Aliniambia ataniletea mapasta, the following day akakuja na mganga.
Wewe msichana wewe, unisikize na unisikize kwa makini.
This sounds like one of your feuds with her.
You wish.
She has moved on. CPA to move on, 20.
Welcome back. This is Lunchtime News, and now very quickly we turn the crack to Kwale County, which has played host to the 61st Mashujaa Day celebrations, and just after the president's speech, which has touched on an array of issues from affordable housing and the benefits it will have to Kenyans in as far as creation of employment is concerned, to matters of agriculture. MSMEs has also come to the fore, and not forgetting matters of healthcare. This even as the president has asked Kenyans to continue exercising patience as the Social Health Authority is being rolled out. Our very own Abdiaziz Hashim has been there for the past few days. Hashim, what is the feel of Kenyans, especially in as far as the president's speech is concerned, touching on the issues that he has spoken to? Hashim.
Well, Doreen, we're still here at the Kwale Stadium, even after the Mashujaa Day celebration. Remember, there is an important match, as per usual, after the national celebrations. A match is held in that particular stadia where the event has just concluded, and it will be SS Assad against Samburu Lions in about few minutes or so. At exactly 2:30 p.m. the match will be kicking off. Now the stadium is preparing for that particular match that will kick off at exactly 2:30 p.m. Now, of course, the president has touched on a number of issues, from the affordable housing project as well as the social health insurance fund, all the way to the subsidy fertilizer program that is currently being run by the Ministry of Agriculture. Let's start there with the president clearly stating that next batch or another consignment is set to come into the country in the coming weeks, and they will continue retailing at exactly 2,500 Kenya shillings. On to the chief issue where the president, of course, spent a lot of time addressing to that particular concern. You do know it was just the other day, the 1st of October 2024, where the Health Insurance Fund, we migrated from the National Hospital Insurance Fund all the way to the Social Health Insurance Fund. The President clearly acknowledging that there have been challenges in that particular transition, but as and when it is up and running, it will address some of the health issues that Kenyans face. And of course, the President clearly stating that this will be done so in the coming weeks, and he'll be announcing that as well. Currently, there are 12.9 million Kenyans who have registered under the Social Health Authority. On to the affordable housing project, which was the theme that guided the Mashujaa celebration this year in Kwale County, given that this county has been able to host this national event for the first time. It is 124,000 units in 75 project sites in 35 counties. That is what the government has been able to brief us on in terms of the projects that are being run across the country in 35 counties, with the President underscoring that this will not only benefit locals as well as students, but the security agencies as well. They'll be able to get this affordable housing project in Kwale County, where we are currently. There are various projects currently being run in Matunga as well as in Diani. Now that the President clearly stating that exactly 200 people have at least have been employed under the affordable housing project. Currently, there are over 160,000 youths, men and women across this country who have been able to be employed under this project. Now, what the President clearly stated is that so soon, as soon as December, the President will be launching the hostels in Mukuru, and of course clearly stating that mortgages will be not just for the few, but for the people across the country. And of course, we'll be filing stories that will be highlighting what entailed into the speech of the President. But right now, I need to hand you over back to Doreen. Doreen.
Our very own Abdiaziz Hashim there, just giving us a brief on what the President talked about in his speech in this Mashujaa Day that has just been concluded in Kwale County. Back to studio, the government has awarded Juakali artisans from Kibra, Nairobi County, 720 million shillings contract to supply doors and windows for the ongoing affordable housing program. At the check handover ceremony during this year's Mashujaa Day celebrations in Kwale County, Housing Principal Secretary Charles Hinga said the government has so far awarded contracts worth 4.4 billion shillings to various Juakali artisans working in all the 75 active sites. A Juakali artisan who is earning a living at the affordable housing construction site testified how the program was restoring dignity to persons living in informal settlement. Watch.
In all our 75 active sites in the country, the Juakalis, the local Juakalis are being involved. And so far, we have given them 4.4 billion shillings worth of work.
Yangu ni kupongeza Bwana Rais kwanza kwa ile jukumu ulichukua ya kuja kutuinua maisha yetu kutoka chini mpaka kutaka kutupandisha maisha ya juu. Your Excellency, nakuambia kwetu mtaa wa mabanda tumeishi kuteseka, tumeishi kuishi nyumba duni ambazo hazijafika standard zenye zinaweza ishi na binadamu. Lakini kwa hii mradi ya boma yangu na hii affordable yenye umetuletea Your Excellency, nyumba zetu huko tunaona mtaa zimeamka na tunatarajia tunakaa nyumba mzuri yenye iko na stima, iko na maji, iko na shower na hata kitchen iko kando, Mheshimiwa Rais.
And our today's Mashujaa Day celebrations held in Kwale County witnessed the sights and sounds of the coastal region, from taarab songs to classics, also known as Zilizopendwa, which fascinated attendees as they enjoyed the taste of the region through the songs and dances displayed by various artists and performers. Take a look. Sights and sounds to behold. Kajiado Governor Joseph Olelenku is calling on political leaders to embrace national cohesion and avert political sideshows that are likely to affect the unity of the country. Speaking during the Mashujaa Day celebrations held at Drought Stadium, Kajiado Lenku insisted that political leaders should embrace tolerance while addressing emotive issues that affect the country. He added that the current political temperatures need to be addressed mutually to avert tribal political divisions.
Ninasimama na Rigiji Rigathi Gachagua kama nasimama na yeye, mtu ambaye alisimama na sisi wakati tunasimama kutafuta kura. Sitasahau, na mimi sina shida na yeye na sitakuwa na shida na yeye, na mimi nimesema yangu na imetosha. Rigiji ni shujaa wangu leo, namtambua.
Now, the Nairobi City County government, through its Touch Africa Initiative Development, has collaborated with non-governmental organizations to supply dustbins to all county hospitals to effect management of waste from the facilities. Touch Africa Initiative Development Executive Director Frances Marita said the program seeks to ensure high levels of hygiene are maintained to prevent disease caused by poor waste handling.
Focusing on improving the environment by installing dustbins, sitting benches, as a result of the overcrowding of patients, especially expectant mothers and the hereditary.
We really appreciate, because they are coming to reinforce what we are supposed to do. The dustbin will help us to keep the environment clean. They are color coded. We have for general waste, for highly infectious waste, and for infectious waste.
To some sporting action now, the Kenya Under-17 women's soccer team, Junior Starlets, held their final training sessions at VSTS Park Central ahead of their second FIFA Under-17 World Cup Group C match against North Korea tonight in the Dominican Republic. The Kenyan girls lost their opening match 2-0 to England after putting up a gallant performance. Junior Starlets must now register a win over a tricky North Korea to put their campaign back on track. A win for North Korea and England, who will be up against Mexico in Santiago, will secure progression to the quarterfinals. Group D matches continue with table-topping Brazil looking to secure back-to-back wins, while Japan, Poland and Zambia are searching for their first win of the tournament in Santo Domingo. Zambia will take on Poland, while Brazil will face Japan.
We gave our best. Najua haikuwa rahisi, but right now at least tumekuwa na experience. At least tumecheza na England, juu ikuwa timu rahisi, and tunaenda kuface North Korea. Tunajua pia nayo si rahisi, but tunaenda kudeal nao jinsi tutakavyowezeshwa.
Tension kwa game ya kwanza, of course kuna wale walikuwa nayo kidogo, lakini kwa game ya pili nao wameshasettle, washajua level ya competition gani, washajua opponent standards zenye wako, so tuendelee kujitima.
In Embu County, parents are urging the county government to build sports academics across various regions to ensure there is talent development continuity after school. The parents now want the national and county government to promote talent development by providing enough and quality sporting fields across the country. Speaking during a sports day for Millbrook International School that was held at the Moy Stadium, Embu, the parents noted that many talented students do not pursue their talents due to numerous challenges.
As a parent, I'm very happy to participate in these games. They are really helping us see what our children have been doing.
Today has been a wonderful day. Tiresome, yes, but amazing. I really enjoyed myself.
The 2023 inaugural Sakaja Super Cup football tournament champions Githurai All-Stars registered a 1-0 victory over hosts Dandora Youth FC at the newly refurbished Dandora Stadium. Striker Patrick Lugo scored the lone goal in the 65th minute from outside the box, beating Dandora Youth goalkeeper Felix Mutie, who fumbled the shot. The Sakaja Super Cup aims to foster grassroots football development across Nairobi by offering young talents an unparalleled platform to showcase their skills. And now that story effectively puts a cap on what we had lined up for you this Sunday afternoon. Time for me to now exit and sit ground for the next program. This has been KBC Lunchtime News. I'm Doreen Arange. Susan Thuku has been our sign language interpreter. Good afternoon.
KDIC, safer, stronger together.
Are you a holder of unclaimed financial assets? All holders are notified to report and surrender unclaimed financial assets to the Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority, UFAA, on or before November 1st, 2024. It is now easier to report and surrender